Oh, oh, hi! Hello! Hello! Sorry, I was in the middle of a dance party they're doing for the quarantine dance. Hi, I am Sister Gaia Love from the San Francisco house, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. No, I used to be a part of two other houses. I came up in San Diego. San Diego is where I started with the sisters, where I went through my postulancy, my novice, where I got my black veil. And then I was in Los Angeles for about a year and a half, 2 years that I joined the house there. And then I moved to San Francisco about 3 years ago, and I've been a sister here since. I still maintain my ties with those other houses as like friendships and things like that go, but I'm only a member of San Francisco. Each house has, just like each house has their own rules, they have their same thing for that. So it depends on the house that you're transferring into, how they do things. Everyone does something a little different. You typically have to have a letter from your previous house saying that you were a sister in good standing. And depending how well the house that you're transferring into knows you, they might put you on like a little 3-month or 6-month trial period just to hang out with them. This is speaking as if you're a black belt already. And then after 3 or 6 months or whatever it is for the rules of that house, they'll accept you in as a member. No, I think I started around 2011, 2012. When I first met the sisters, I was enthralled. I was amazed. I was riding my bicycle through San Diego and I saw this group of people and I didn't know who or what they were, but like I never understood the meaning of a calling until I met the sisters. And that's what I knew. Okay, I got to know more about these people. I need to get involved with this. And I stalked the sisters for probably about 4 or 5 years before I got myself into the position to say, hey, I want to do this too. Why I wanted to do it is I see this as paying my rent in life. We all have to give back. We all have to contribute. And this is a fun way to do it while expressing yourself, giving yourself an outlet that I never had before. If you would have told me, how many years ago was that now? 10 years ago? I don't know. That I would be just up doing this, I would not have believed it. Because I always knew I was queer, that I was different, but I was always more reserved, more introverted, a bit of a recluse, so to speak. I just kept to myself. So this was an outlet for me that I was eager to take on to challenge myself. I was the board chair in San Diego. When I was the board chair in San Diego. When I moved to Los Angeles, I was on the UNPC there. When I moved to San Francisco, I was the board chair 3 years ago, and I've been the vice chair and the treasurer for the past 2 years. Captain Planet and the Planeteers was a cartoon that had a huge influence on my youth. It was my go-to cartoon. I loved it. And I've always had an environmental focus to myself. I was always very earth balanced kind of a person. So the character voiced by Whoopi Goldberg on Captain Planet and Planeteers, Gaia, kind of came from that. When I was in schools doing some of my studies, focusing on things that I liked, I came across this British scientist whose name was James Lovelock. And he is the guy that posited the Gaia theory. The Gaia theory states that we're basically one giant organism. The Earth is one giant organism and everything lives in balance with each other. And if you don't find a way to live in balance with the entire organism, the organism is going to get rid of you. So it's like we need to learn to live in balance with the Earth, or the Earth is going to take care of us and get rid of us. So the love comes from James Lovelock. And there you have Earth Love, Gaia Love as my name. What brings me joy? The look on people's faces when they see a sister. The spontaneity. Spontaneity. The spontaneous reactions from people when they see a sister. Ones that know a sister, but they're like surprised to see them where they're at, or Like like I told you, when I first met the sisters, I was riding my bicycle and I literally stopped in my tracks. So I love seeing that reaction to other people. So and just going out there and being known as a sister, people don't need to know who you are. They know what you represent when you put this on, when you go out there. And that in itself brings a lot of joy to me, knowing that I'm carrying on those traditions from 40 years ago. Oh, flagging in the park is one of my favorite San Francisco things. That's what you saw me doing there at the beginning while we were doing the dancing thing. I love just making people be able to express themselves. So I would say my ministry focuses on, a house has 4 foundations. I kind of see the 4 foundations of my ministry as social activism, social charity, freedom of expression, and spiritual enlightenment. Whatever that kind of enlightenment might be for the person who is reaching out to the sisters. I'm not a religious person. Like I said, I'm very earth focused. I'm very kind of grounded, so to speak, in that way. But I can find myself able to tailor my ministry on the fly a little bit, depending on what a person is seeking from a sister when they reach out to me. When I first started with the sisters, I found myself bringing in all sorts of outside groups that the sisters had never reached out to in the first place. Not that they didn't reach out to, but they didn't have a connection with. And when I started in San Diego, some of the fundraising and some of the things that I did brought in a whole new batch of people that knew the sisters. And so, like I said, when I first joined the sisters, the San Diego sisters was like, where the hell did this person come from? Because most people that come into the sisters, they're from a known community. They're from the bears, they're from the leather community, they're from the drag community, they're from the court community. I came from nowhere. And they were like, who the fuck is this person? So I had a whole, I guess I kind of brought the aspect of not being a part of any of those other things, totally being my own outside self. And I don't know if that counts as adding something towards it or not. I definitely tend to bring I hate this, for as much as I've been put in leadership positions, I do tend to bring a business side of things to the order. As much as that's not the fun that people like to do, that's never the fun part, but as we are incorporated, it is something that we need to do. So I do have I have had a strong focus on that since I blacktailed, of being on the business side of things. For protecting the corporation, taxes, financials, permits with the city, going through and doing different stuff, smoothing road bumps when we run into problems with the city or things like that. So I've kind of brought that base forward a little bit. So I guess that's one way to say that's something I've kind of brought. I'm ready to give it up though. I'm ready to just go back and have some fun. Very spiritual sister. Spirits.
I might have to edit that out so that it doesn't look like we're promoting Kettle One.
Oh, here, let me turn the bottle this way. I'll hide the label. You can just blur it out or something there. I think that should answer your question though. Silly, yes. We always have to remember one of the yeah. Silly, spirituals. What was the other one? Sexy?
And serious.
Oh, I'm not serious. How many times have you spent with me in a tent to think that I might be serious?